All right. It's your boy, Money Mitch TV, coming to you straight off the hip. Car Chronicles, episode 12. Yes, episode 12. It's a Friday evening, driving home from work, and I have a Car Chronicles episode. Let's talk about it. First things first, Gilbert Arenas has been released from jail the same day he got locked up. And it's so funny, they said allegedly he snitched on everybody, and that's how he got out the feds. And people on YouTube and people that's saying Gilbert is a snitch, he shouldn't be snitching, and all of that bullshit, here, there, whatsoever, whenever. Here's what I think. Why the fuck y'all mad at Gilbert Arenas snitching? Let's be real. Number one, Gilbert Arenas do not live by a street code, because you know why? Gilbert Arenas never was a street nigga. He never claimed no type of gang affiliation. He never claimed to be a nigga in the streets. He never sold no drugs. He never, I ain't gonna say he never shot a gun because he has guns, but he never was in the streets. Gilbert Arenas was always consistent in saying he was a nerd in high school that knew how to play basketball. He never was that type. Plus, Gilbert Arenas grew up in the Valley part of LA. If you from LA, you know, or California, you know where the Valley is. The Valley is where a lot of the white kids, the Native Americans, and the Indians, the Native American Indians and the Hispanic people all stay at over there in the Valley. You know, Gilbert Arenas grew up in that area. He grew up in a predominantly white area all his life. So so he don't have to live by a street code. And you see Kwame Brown, he going crazy on Gil, calling him a snitch and all of that. But Gilbert don't, hey, Gilbert got out the same day. Of course he's gonna snitch. And he even said it on his live stream. Like, of course, he guess what? Pretty much the situation was, it was a Israeli mob boss, quote unquote, an Israeli mob boss, or Jewish mob boss, whatever it was renting Gilbert Arenas' house to run gambling rings. They pay, because also Gilbert Arenas, he rents his house as an Airbnb to other people too. So pretty much he was renting his house out for people to do whatever you want. So Gilbert is smart. So if he told the feds that, hey, I didn't have nothing to do with this, I was just renting my house out to this guy, that's a rich, wealthy guy, and I never indulged in any other activity. And guess what? If Gil Arenas said that and he got proof, and remember, Gil still have money, because Gil has money. And then I bet you, his lawyer pulled up all his stuff, that's why Gil got out. Gil ain't go, and I bet you, the charges are gonna be dropped. And even if Gil testified, he's gonna tell what he thinks will happen. And guess what? And you can't get mad at that, because Gilbert Arenas never was a street nigga. He never lived by a code because he was never raised in that type of environment. Now if the tables was turned on the other end, it was an NBA player like Steven Jackson, J.R. Smith, guys that had affiliations with gangs. Then that would be oh man, that's fucked up. Steven Jackson snitch. J.R. Smith snitch. John Wall snitch. These are guys that on the internet, everybody said they're affiliated with some type of gang. Then it's like, oh man, he's supposed to live by the code, because even Steven, and I'm using Steven Jackson because Steven Jackson has said numerous times on the internet that he was a street nigga, that he lived by the code, that he's under the 5, he's a blood, and all of that. So Steven Jackson would have did the same thing. Then I can understand why people was mad on the internet, because Steven Jackson proclaimed that he's a street nigga. But Gilbert Arenas, on the other hand, he never claimed that. He grew up in a white predominantly area. So predominantly white area and all of that. So it is what it is with that. So Gilbert Arenas, he got out of jail the same day he was arrested. So congratulations to Gil. And Gil even said this. You think I'm going to sit in jail while I got this fine ass wife at home? He said that on his live stream. And guess what? He's right. You think Gil's going to keep it real, like a quote unquote real nigga? So everybody can say, oh, Gil a real nigga, and he never proclaimed to be a real nigga. So he did what most citizens, working class citizens, would do. Hell, I remember a rapper said this a long time ago. I forgot which rapper it was. A rapper said, if you're a regular citizen, of course you're gonna snitch. But if you proclaim if you're a street nigga, then you're not living by the code. So that's all I gotta say about Gilbert Arenas. He out of jail, and people mad because he snitched. Oh well. Oh fucking well, tough titty. It don't matter. He did what he's supposed to do because he's a citizen. He's a citizen. Even if he's making money, making millions of dollars off of his streams and his podcasts, he snitched. Also, I know y'all heard the news about Shannon Sharp. I said this on my last episode, talked about Shannon Sharp, that freaky frog ass nigga Shannon Sharp. Got fired from ESPN. Everybody knew that Shannon was not going to get reinstated back into ESPN. When Shannon Sharp announced back in April that he had to take a leave of absence, so pretty much he was suspended from ESPN. And then when he was trying to get reinstated back into ESPN, they fired him. So Shannon Sharp has so much baggage now. And like I said in the last episode, Shannon Sharp's firing has put a mark on Stephen A. Smith's credibility on looking for talent. So now, if Stephen A. Smith goes to ESPN and say, hey, I want to hire X, Y, and Z, ESPN gonna say, hell the fuck no. Your credibility is shot. We're not gonna hire anybody you recommend us. We're gonna hire X, Y, and Z. So yeah, it is what it is with Shannon Sharp. That freaky frog can't keep his dick in his pants. He can't use dick discipline. And it's unfortunate. And this is the reason why, like, if you have parents that grew up in that baby boomer era, they gonna always say stuff like this. Like my mom used to say stuff like this also. She just say, boy, keep your dingling in your pants while you out there. Means don't go out here and be fucking anything out everywhere that's walking and moving and all of that. And that's true. Men need to practice more dick discipline. It's okay to say, ooh, she bad. Ooh, I want to fuck. Yeah, you know. It's okay to think about that in your mind, you know. But the moment you act out in lust and you choose lust over your future, you're gonna always come up short. Just like Juvenile said in baller blocking. When you think with your dick, you always come up short. And that's true. So many niggas have got the wrong hoe pregnant, lost their lives by fucking the wrong female and getting killed over it, or lost their lives catching a disease and dying over it. So it's true out in the streets. Dick discipline is real. Like you have to practice that to be successful. You know, like look at people like, you know, look at the millionaires. Look at most of the million and billionaires on top of the list. Of course, they got money, they got women chasing all over them. You think they're gonna throw that away? Throw their fortune away? Owe some coochie? Hell no. Most those guys that's in that high echelon of money, them billions, some hundred millions and billions of dollars, they strategically plan out who they gonna fuck. So it's always gonna be calculated. Where some dudes move reckless. Shannon Sharp need to be careful. Monique warned him, Cat Williams warned him, tell him to stop fucking with them goofy assholes, and that's true. Like Monique even told him, stop fucking with them white bitches and mess with a female that age. And that's true. Shannon Sharp don't need to be dating no 19, 20-year-old female. He need to be start looking at women that's 40 and up because of the fact a woman, and he's in Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, it's a lot of nice looking 40 and up women. It's a lot of them. Like, you know, there's a lot of them. But you know what's so funny? The internet is so undefeated. The internet put up a picture saying Shannon Sharp should have messed with B Nasty, and all of this shit would have never happened. Now this it's kind of funny, but it's true. B Nasty might be in her mid-30s, maybe late 30s, but guess what? He gonna do everything what Shannon Sharp want to do in the bedroom, what that little goofy ass white girl is doing to him. And guess what? You think B Nasty gonna go back and run and tell the cops that oh, he did this XYZ? No. B Nasty she gonna stay quiet, unlock that throat, and let Shannon trick that money off. You know, gotta play it smart, and that's all. But you know, it's funny. But you know, everybody said it. You know, the internet's undefeated, but it's somewhat true. But you know, to each his own. You know, you can't be messing with no goofy ass white girl that's young and dumb. See, that's why most older men that mess with these young girls, they get messed up. They get stuck when they get them pregnant, or they catch something. They stuck. And then, especially if an older man catch syphilis, gonorrhea, and all that shit from a young chick, they have a higher chance of dying than if they was in their 20s and 30s. You know, it's real out in this field. You know, that's why niggas need to just stay disciplined, stay down. All right, now let me get off of Shannon Sharp. Also, oh yeah, I also mentioned Joy Taylor got fired from Fox Sports, which everybody knew that was coming because of the lawsuits, and you know, she fucked her boss to go up in the ranks of her shows and all of that. Hey. That was bound to happen. And they also fired the executive that was also in cahoots with Joy Taylor. So, here's the thing. Joy Taylor's going to get another job because, number one, she's very knowledgeable of sports. She's not like Molly Cameron. Molly Cameron dumb as fuck. I'm sorry. Like, when Molly be on First Take, she just say some unnecessary ass shit, and I'll be like, Molly, shut the fuck up, please. And just let Stephen A. talk. Like, hell, Jamel Hill is way more knowledgeable than Molly Cameron. I love hearing Jamel Hill speak. When Jamel Hill says stuff about sports, she knows something. Hell, even Even the white lady that covers the Lakers, I forgot her name, but she's good. She's good in knowing sports. But when it comes to Molly Carroll, yeah, when it comes to Molly Carroll, it just be like, why are you talking out of turn? But to each his own. But I would love to see Joy Taylor go to another network. I don't think Joy Taylor is going to go to ESPN because it's going to be the same result of what Shannon Sharp gone through. So I can see Joy Taylor going to CBS or going to Yahoo Sports, or I can see Joy Taylor starting her own sports network and on YouTube, doing the same thing what a lot of other people is doing. Like, just like Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay is taking off. But now, but since Shannon Sharp, is taking off, he's making money. But Shannon Sharp dick cost Shannon Sharp $200 million. Shannon Sharp had a $100 million deal for ESPN that was waiting on him, and he was going to sign another $100 million deal with a podcasting company. And I think it was either it had to be something like maybe iHeartRadio. It was either iHeartRadio or Barstool Sports. It's one of them companies that was going to pay Shannon Sharp $100 million. But his dick caused him to lose money for him and Chad Ochocinco. I bet you Chad Ochocinco was mad. Was like, damn, you just fucked the money up. But Shannon Sharp think like, hey, it's on me. But that's what happened. Your dick can cost you a lot of money. And I know some people say that's rich people problems. It's not just rich people problems. It's regular, everyday nigga problems too. You fuck the wrong bitch, you get her pregnant, you own child support, now you pay child support for 18 years. That's what your dick will do. It costs you money. So niggas gotta stay disciplined. But anyway, we get off of that. I'm gonna go ahead and get into some sports. Get into some football. Football season is here. We already started the preseason. And the internet is laughing at the fucking Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, I don't know how the fuck the Cowboys are thinking they're gonna make it to the playoffs. Jerry Jones is so fucking delusional. He's like, bruh, he's the most delusional owner ever. This man, let me start from the beginning. This man do not want to pay his leading rusher, his leading linebacker / defensive end, Micah Parsons. He don't want to. He's trying to get him for the cheap, knowingly. Michael Parsons want like $30 million, $40 million, and you're not gonna give him that. It's crazy. Like, Jerry, pay the man the money, because Michael Parsons is maybe the best defensive player they had since Dion. That might be the last time they had a great, not a good. They had a bunch of good people on the defensive end of the ball for you, but the last time they had somebody that was great was Dion. They had Dion. Now the last time they had somebody like that can change your defense dramatically, make you from a bottom feeding defense to a top 5 defense in the league. So, and I had Charles Haley. I think him too. But Dion, I was just gonna say, and then Dak Prescott, his goofy ass, gonna say Cowboys is gonna make it to the playoffs. So it is what it is. So it's crazy. They really think that Cowboys is gonna make it to the playoffs. Like Dak Prescott out here in press conferences saying that he think the Cowboys are gonna make it to the playoffs. But here's the crazy part. They're projected to win at least 7 games, and they might get lucky and win 8 games this year. But they're projected to win 7 games this year. You know what 7 games gonna get you? Bottom of the division and bottom of the conference. So I don't see the Cowboys winning 10, 11, or 12 games. They're gonna, and it sounds about right, about 7 games. They might get lucky and win an extra game. So I'm gonna be nice and give them 8. I might give them 8 games, because they're gonna win one of those games that a team just not taking the Cowboys seriously, and the Cowboys gonna come in and take the win. So I give them 8 games. Cowboys are so damn delusional, And you got Jerry thinking that he gonna play this little game with Michael Parsons. And see, Jerry gotta understand, Micah is not Dak Prescott. He's not the corporate guy like Dak, because Micah gonna fuck around and say trade me. And then Jerry gonna try to think he's bluffing. Because look, you see what happened earlier this morning. Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver with the Redskins. I know they're the Commanders. The Redskins. They're the Commanders. He asked for a trade this morning. You try to play with that money, boy. You try to play with that money. You try to play with that man money. That man asked for a trade ASAP. Like, oh, you ain't gonna pay me? Oh, you ain't gonna give me the say that DK Metcalf is getting? oh, trade me. And then Terry McLaurin, watch, he don't get that money. But if they do trade him, guess what? They're gonna get like maybe a second, third round pick, and maybe a receiver that's like a third string on top of that, you know. But Washington must stop fucking playing with that boy. Pay that boy Terry. So, and you know, football season's coming. And then also, me living here in Nashville, I got to see some clips on YouTube about Cam Ward. I'm just gonna say this: Cam Ward gonna be straight. He gonna be straight, but he gonna take a fucking punishment with that O-line. That O-line and with the Titans, I don't know if they've gotten better with that O-line with the Titans, but I can see Cam Ward get sacked a lot. He gonna go through that he gonna go through that hell. But he's good. Cam Ward is good. He's better than Will Levi Jeans. Yes, that's what the fuck I said. Not Will Levis. Will Levi Jeans. That's what I call that motherfucker. Will Levi Jeans. Because you know why? He's Will Levi Jeans. Yeah, that boy stiff as hell in that pocket. That's what Will Levis is. He's stiff as a motherfucker in the pocket. But anyway, so you know, everything looking good. Some of the rookies that's that's progressing. Also, Shedeur Sanders. He's still with the Browns. The Browns, they be saying some dumb shit all the time. Now they said some quote earlier this week saying, you know, they had to meet with the right people at the right time to get Shedeur. I'd be like, oh shit, it sounded like they didn't really want him. They just took him off solely because he was there. And you know, Jimmy Haslam, I'm like, what the fuck, Jimmy Haslam? What the fuck you talking about? He said that goofy shit. Then he said, well, that call was on Andrew Berry. Motherfucker, just admit you wanted Shedeur. Andrew Berry didn't want him. You wanted him. Andrew Berry didn't want him. And then now you feel and then you got the backlash for getting him. Then you try to backpedal. So that's what it looks like. But look at this. If I'm Andrew Berry, the GM of the Browns, I need to play Shedeur all through preseason. Make him look good. Have that man throw 5 touchdowns, no picks, all of that shit. You know, have a completion percentage of 65% to 70%. If Shedeur looks super good in preseason, somebody gonna get on the phone and trade for him. Somebody gonna get on the phone and call Andrew Berry. Hey, I'll give you your 5th round pick back for Shedeur. If Andrew Berry is smart, he needs to play Shedeur all through the preseason. Have Shedeur at least get majority of the snaps in through the preseason. Joe Flacco don't need to play. Joe Flacco is already proven. If Joe Flacco plays in the preseason, he need to play the first quarter to get the reps in. Play the whole first quarter, and he can sit his old ass down, and then Shedeur can come in and play the rest of the 3 quarters. Kenny Pickett, his goofy ass is gone. He's out damn near for maybe 4 weeks because he got a hamstring injury. But Joe Flacco don't need Joe Flacco's proven. He's proven. He had taken the Browns to the playoffs 2 years ago. He went to a Super Bowl. He's been in winning culture most of his career. So Joe Flacco don't have to prove nothing. Everybody knows Joe Flacco's gonna be the number 1 QB. But if Andrew Berry is smart, he need to play Shedeur majority of the snaps. Make his ass look like Tom Brady or Lamar Jackson. If you make Shedeur look good, somebody getting on the phone is gonna ask for him. Somebody's gonna try to trade for Shedeur by mid-season. And that's all you gotta do. But if Andrew Berry don't start Shedeur and just let him sit on the bench, then you done wasted a fucking 5th round pick on him. And you could have just used that 5th round pick on your secondary. So the Browns gotta be smart. Also, everybody think that the Ravens is set up to, go all the way in the Super Bowl. And let me say this about the Ravens. Let me say this. This whole summer was a slaughter Jalen Hurts summer. Everybody is hating on Jalen Hurts. Y'all need to stop fucking hating on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is cold. Y'all talking about he's not an elite. Yes, the fuck he is. Every playoff game he played in, he delivered. He over-delivered. So, motherfuckers be saying Jalen Hurts is not elite. Yes, the fuck he is. Look at all his playoff stats. Look at the 2 Super Bowls he played in. He over-delivered. So, and I said this a long time ago. Jalen Hurts winning the Super Bowl is an indictment on Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. And you know why I say those 3 names? Because those are the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. Those are the top 3 young quarterbacks. I'm not going to say Patrick Mahomes. He got 4. Patty Mahomes got 4 of them things. 4. And Jalen Hurts, you know why he's a made man? He's proven he beat Patrick Mahomes. He beat the boss to be the boss. People forget Patrick Mahomes was the fucking final boss. And just in wrestling terms, that nigga was the final boss. And Jalen Hurts beat the final boss to become the boss. And y'all slandering that man's name. Y'all slandering that dude talking about he ain't elite. Patrick Mahomes got beaten by Jalen Hurts. So, But now it's up to Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson to win an important playoff game. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl. He beat the final boss too. He beat Patrick Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl. But he lost to the Rams. And I'm gonna tell you, if you watch that Super Bowl with Joe Burrow, I'm gonna tell you what's the one thing he messed up on. That last play where Joe Burrow was supposed to throw that ball, he didn't look down the field because Jamar Chase was lined up with Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey backpedaled, trying to outdo Jamar Chase. Man, Jamar Chase burned that nigga. Jalen Ramsey fell flat on his damn face. If Burrow would have looked and saw that, easy throw, touchdown. Bengals win the Super Bowl. And this one, the game was kind of tied up. That's all. That was the only mistake Joe Burrow made. That was not looking down on the field. And of course, Aaron Donald was coming down his throat. That man was going crazy on him. Aaron Donald was throwing a sack party. So I can understand that. But if Joe Burrow would have looked down that field and saw Jalen Ramsey trip and fall, oh, easy throw, touchdown. Could have been easy throw, touchdown. But now it's up to Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. Lamar got to the AFC Championship game, and this time, you know, he choked and his team choked because Lamar did not fucking run the ball enough. He wanted to throw the ball. He wanted to prove everybody wrong that he could beat a team by throwing the ball. All Lamar had to do is, man, put your motherfucking head down and run. He would have been, man, what? Josh Allen, he be fucking up too. He went to AFC Championship game, fucked up also. You know, it is what it is with them. But it's an indictment on those three quarterbacks. It's an indictment on them. You know, that's why it's up to one of those three to get to the Super Bowl and win. Because Jalen Hurts, he the final boss now. He the final boss now. And then if Patrick Mahomes want to regain that, Patrick Mahomes gonna have to beat Jalen Hurts or win the Super Bowl. So there's no more slander on Jalen Hurts' name because that dude proved to be elite in the playoffs. Lamar, Joe Burrow, and fucking Josh Allen all fucking choked. Even though I love all three of those quarterbacks, but they all choked. And I'm gonna talk about my Packers real quick. My Packers, I'm a Packers fan. So my Packers, I'm just gonna say this. Packers are still gonna be a playoff team, but it's gonna be a little harder because the Bears gotten better. The Vikings gotten better. The Lions stay pat. The Vikings, the Lions, and the Bears, they all gotten better. So this might be the first year that all four teams in the division goes to the playoffs in years. The last time this happened, I think it was maybe in the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, whatever. But this might be the first time in years that all four teams go to the playoffs. Jordan Love, he's gonna have another good solid year. My Packers gonna win about maybe 11 games. I'm gonna predict they're gonna win about 11 games. And then here's the thing: they win 11 games, but I don't see them getting to the NFC Championship. I don't see them because they might run into the Eagles again, and that's what might happen. The Packers might run into the Eagles again and get the doors blown out of them. But you know, it is what it is. Go Pack, go! Travel Pack. But yeah, everything's coming down the pipe. You know, football is coming. Basketball is around the corner. Baseball is about to wrap up. Hey, it is what it is. Bless you. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Tell you what you think. Give your comments on what I said. This is your boy MitchTV. I'm out.